So in this particular study, it showed that if you were more inclined to free market capitalism, you had a higher tendency of holding ethnocentric values. For me, capitalism is like the all-consuming thing. Capitalism maintains white supremacy, white privilege, racism, sexism, patriarchy, heteronormativity, you name it, capitalism.
Heteronormativity. All right, welcome to Gimme 5. This is part 2. If you were with us last hour, we told you about the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction, the University of Wisconsin system, and the city of Madison held this white privilege conference. To me, they're a bunch of racists, these instructors. They're a bunch of sexists, and they're a bunch of communists, apparently. Here's more.
The United States has the most open notion of freedom of speech in the world. Many countries of the world, in Western countries, for instance in Germany, you cannot talk about the Nazis. In the U.S., you can talk about the Nazis. Not in Germany. You can't buy Nazi memorabilia. Not in Germany. In South Africa, you can't talk about apartheid, that you want apartheid. So even in Western liberal democracies, there will be, there's certain things we do not do and we do not say because they do hurt people and can lead people through those words to even commit crimes against other people. But in the U.S., because of our understanding of this terminology, we end up allowing so much language that is incredibly hurtful and painful, feeds into the stereotypes, etc. So how would we work on that, on the local, state, national, and international level?
All right, so freedom of speech, capitalism, being a Christian in the last one, that's all bad. That's all bad. What are they doing in this country? All right, now watch this. Here they ask white people at the conference to leave so that people of color could have their own space. I kid you not.
Challenges to this racial segregation, a long tradition at the WPC, were not well received by conference organizers.
Hi, I'm Abby Berger, and I'm here as a white ally to the facilitators of this caucus. I want to honor this space as one for people of color and indigenous people. If there are any white people here, I request that you come with me outside so that we can talk about why it's so important that we have this space for people of color. And I urge you to use this opportunity to talk about it with me if you have questions or concerns. And so I urge other white people like me to come with me and honor this one opportunity for people of color to have their own space. Thank you. Please join me.
So she wants to be the Pied Piper of white people. She's leading white people out because this white privilege conference should be all about black people having their own space. White people, I guess, are, in other words, they should lose their privilege of existing at this conference. Really? More?
You asked me to leave. I did feel singled out and pressured when you were staring at me as you were walking out the door.
Yeah, the problem is because this is a white supremacist and white privilege-based society, and that white privilege and racism manifests itself here throughout the day as well, people of color feel they need to have a safe space among themselves at the end of the day to kind of debrief the emotion and the suffering and the pain in which they've experienced even throughout the day.
Folks, you know, if this were a Saturday Night Live skit, it would be funny, right? But it's not. There are people like this that exist, that think like this, that are obviously acting like this, under the guise of white privilege. So they could be racist, they could be communist, they could be anti-Christian. More.
Racism is discrimination plus an institutionalized system of power, and so
that would still be okay. And a racist action would be discriminating against somebody because of.
In our nation, racism. White people do not experience racism. White people can experience discrimination, but not racism.
And do you think?
Right, blacks can't be racist. That's the Al Sharpton definition. And by the way, that's a racist statement too, because even if you believe that only people of power could be racist, there are no blacks in power? No blacks with power who could have repercussions on others? It's a sick world, and there's your example. Steve Malzberg Show.